Ultimately, you get a supply of Bitcoin held by the U.S. government that is, tantamount to what we have in gold reserves.
Big things are happening today with crypto. The Bitcoin price is well over its 2021 highs. We are currently in price discovery. And while altcoins today are the bigger news, watch today's whole video for which altcoins are implementing, because understanding what's coming with the US government and the United States Bitcoin Reserve.
And that's why this national crypto stockpile is so compelling. So essentially, the U.S. government has $16 billion worth of Bitcoin already on its balance sheet that it has amassed through these seizure operations. But what Donald Trump is talking about doing is not only holding on to that, but he's also been talking to Senator Lummis and her team, who put forth legislation to buy 1 million Bitcoin over the course of 5 years so that ultimately you get a supply of Bitcoin held by the U.S. government that is, tantamount to what we have in gold reserves. 5% of the total Bitcoin supply. So it's just you're even seeing the U.S. government potentially leaning into this HODL strategy, as you were saying.
So U.S. Senator Lummis, which is about to have the full support of the Trump administration starting January 6th, has proposed a bill for the U.S. to acquire 1 million Bitcoin.
Store it untouched for 20 years, and 1 million Bitcoin would reduce our current debt in half.
On top of the Bitcoin that they already own due to DOJ confiscations over the years, and understanding the exact language, that's why you subscribe to Altcoin Daily for all the information. If the US buys 1 million Bitcoin over 5 years, that's 547 Bitcoin bought every day, more than all new Bitcoin currently mined, which is about 450 per day. Now that Trump has won, the world's largest buyer could be about to enter the chat. And just looking at how much the demand is outweighing the supply today, this was the amount of Bitcoin bought by just the ETFs in this last week, compared to the amount of Bitcoin mined in just this last week. This is why price is increasing. And for people asking, is this a top? Is the Bitcoin pump done? Retail is not here yet, meaning Coinbase app is not #1 in the App Store. Your Uber driver isn't telling you about his recent altcoin gains. This price discovery, thus far, is exclusively driven by institutional accumulation.
I would say the market still have a ways to go, because what you're seeing right now is primarily institutionally driven buying. It's people that have been, soaking up the BTC that was available through the exchange liquidations, and now those are pretty much burnt off. But retail hasn't come back in. If you look at the size of the buy orders that are coming in, they're all fairly large. You're not seeing drips and drabs like you would, and you're not seeing your Uber driver checking their portfolio as you're driving around now. When that returns, I think that the market can go considerably higher.
And keep in mind, pullbacks in any bull market will happen. Bitcoin is largely going up today, not because of what just happened, although you could say it is because Trump just got elected, but he's not president yet. Once he is sworn in on January 6th, then things will officially start happening, and even that may take up to a year.
I think number one, for the United States, they're going to have to decide who will be the lead regulator. CFTC or SEC. Then they need to decide how they want to regulate, and that's going to take a long time for consultation. Even if you look in Hong Kong, we took roughly about a year to get everything together in terms of our licensing measures, and they're very clear now. But just getting the legislation passed, and that's moving very quickly, in fact, does take time. And the United States, you're going to have voting within houses and different bodies within the United States. Whilst I see that the Republican Party does control both the Senate and the House now, it will still take time because not everybody is on the bandwagon to approve digital assets as a full asset class. But I think it's on the way there.
And the really big news is what's happening with altcoins. Charles Hoskinson saying that in 2025, Cardano really starts the marketing.
So next year, we really have to market to Bitcoin developers and Bitcoin people that want to use their Bitcoin to do stuff. So first off, make it absolutely seamless from a Bitcoin user perspective to launch a Cardano application and spend your Bitcoin on Cardano apps and dApps. That's the first thing we need to do. And so make it look like they've never left Bitcoin. And because of Boss and Maestro, hybrid applications and Babel fees, I think we have a path to get there. It's going to be an enormous amount of work. It's a very heavy lift, and there's going to wallet integrations and all these things that have to happen. We got fire on all cylinders. There's $1.5 trillion in the Bitcoin space, guys. 1.5 trillion. Okay, if you add up Solana and Ethereum together, that is 3 times the size of Solana and Ethereum. And there's 0 TVL in Bitcoin right now. Okay, so I think that's a bigger TAM to go after, and we're a UTXO chain, and those guys aren't. So we can go in 2 weeks' time with an Aiken training course, train all the Bitcoin developers to write beautiful Cardano applications that they're instantly comfortable with and they like developing for.
Let me know down below in the comments section if you're long or short on the ADA price. Looking at the chart on Margex, ADA is up over 100% in the last few weeks. And whether you are longing the ADA price or shorting the ADA price, keep in mind that on Margex, you can use your altcoin gains, other altcoins, different altcoins as collateral. I will put a referral link down below if you want to claim the up to $10,000 bonus. But let me know, are we long or are we short? And looking at recent news with Xborg, which is aiming to be one of the top gaming protocols in this 2025 bull run. Of course, we are early. They are number 11 today by fully diluted value. And just a reminder on what Xborg is, straight from their founder.
What Xborg is this big ledger of your data that you've gathered and generated as a player. And then we not only create this ID, but we also create a whole bunch of developer infrastructure so that apps and games can use your ID in-game or within different apps. We're doing a lot of partnerships and integrations with esports teams that use our protocol, Team Liquid, for example.
And that's true. One of the things that drew me to Xborg, and I am a token holder, I am an ambassador, and I'm hugely bullish on crypto gaming. But what's interesting with Xborg, even though they are so much newer, they do have some of the top esports teams in the world, like Team Liquid, NIP, Team BDS, and others, building identity-powered dApps on the Xborg protocol. So crypto gaming in general, we know, is only growing bigger, but this is transforming player data into power with crypto gaming.
So many other opportunities in the world. Why focus on gaming?
You know, gaming and particularly gaming with crypto assets will enable you to have ownership of some kind of assets, you know, because the way it's going with like real estate, etc., like the new generation can't own anything, and that's just the truth.
The news today is this: $4 million in on-chain liquidity. This is a huge milestone. XBG stands as one of the most liquid gaming/utility tokens on-chain, if not the most. Also, if you're bullish on AI cryptos, for Human Protocol, Human AI, and their Heart token, they have just partnered or collabing with juggernaut Ocean Protocol. Humans AI and Ocean Protocol announced live today at the Super Intelligence Summit by CEO and founder of Humans AI, as well as COO of Ocean Protocol. The collab is on. And also, speaking of expansion of AI cryptos globally, Humans AI eyes positive Indian market with its AI counselor tech. So they did just get a write-up in the Business Standard. Humans AI is bringing Human, an AI built to integrate smoothly into human workflows, to India. So cool to see the progress globally. And quick piece of news for Solana, breaking. $160 million has bridged to Solana in the last 7 days. Over $130 million just from Ethereum. So we just spoke about liquidity for Xborg. Pay attention to that liquidity, i.e. where the liquidity is flowing, because liquidity is money, and you always follow the money. And quick piece of news for Proppy, Coinbase and Proppy major announcement. Anthony Scaramucci highlights why something like Proppy is needed. As a reminder, Proppy is real estate on-chain, a licensed, fully licensed U.S. escrow.
You could be in a situation 5-10 years from now where some of the best properties in the world, people want to sell those properties. Yeah, that's great, but we're only taking Bitcoin. And that's where Proppy really has its future. So I would just say that current 3 to 6 months, that's great. But this is really a vehicle for the next 5 to 10 years.
If I missed a coin, comment down below. I want to cover them all, at least all the big news happening in crypto. And like always, see you tomorrow.